Hello again, everyone. Dan John here from danjohnuniversity.com. So I'm talking today with Marty Gallagher. Now, Marty Gallagher is that great powerlifting coach. He's maybe the best writer. He is certainly the heir to John McCallum, Keys to Progress. Love the guy. And we started talking about a book, and here's the book. Hold on. It's Inside Weightlifting and Weight Training by Jim Murray. Now, I bought this book when it came out. I think it was at Christmas, my junior year, when I was just come back from Utah State. I go to the Ceremony Mall. Usual. I always go to the health and fitness area, and there was a book that had Olympic lifting in it, which was very unusual. And what I liked about this book, and well, here's a sequence of Lee James snatching 363 at the Olympics to make sure he gets the silver. There's always great sequences. So we mentioned that, and then I mentioned an older author. By the way, none of these books today I might necessarily recommend, but I want you to think about something that's missing. This book, Weight Training by Dr. Frank Ryan, is a book that was in my high school library, and I still have the notes in my journal from high school that I took while reading this book. And it basically says that a discus thrower needs strong legs and powerful arms, and it was good information at the time. In the Olympic lifting section of the book, Gary Gubner, who was a great Olympic lifter and a great shot putter, demonstrates the movements, and his techniques are a little rougher than what you'd see today. But thinking about that got me thinking about this book here, and this is the great book on discus throwing by Ryan, and it is still probably my go-to book when people ask me about pictures of discus throws. This is a fellow Utah State alumni, L.J. Sylvester, and I believe this is a throw he made in Germany, 181 feet, about 55 meters. It's kind of funny how the world's changed. When I was throwing 55 meters, no one would put me in the middle of the book, even though I had a nice technique. But this is something I want you to think about. And again, the Frank Ryan series, if you're a history buff. There's one on high jumping that I don't think you would probably use today. There's no Fosbury flop. The pole vaulting one is steel poles. The shot put book is very good. The sequences are excellent. This book here, the Frank Ryan discus book, the pictures of Randy Matson, the great Texas A&M world record holding the shot, and tied the world record in the discus until LJ broke it, LJ Sylvester. Al Order, four-time Olympian, his techniques are in there, and LJ. So my thought is this, and it's kind of a gap, I think, and Marty and I were talking about this. When people make strength books today, you will find, you certainly will find, like 6 pictures of how to do the clean, but you don't often find those pictures in the sport while it's going on. And we started to discuss, he's got this great idea. He trains some people 1 day a week. One day. They squat, they bench press, they deadlift. One workout. Takes about 2 hours, which is extremely fast. And that's it for them for the week because they're busy, hardworking people. And one of the things that Marty is so good at is in his squat progression. He goes from the bodyweight squat to the goblet squat, to the double kettlebell front squat, basically to the front squat, to the back squat. And I agree with that 100%. And it's his technical eye he keeps coming back at you. But I was thinking today what a great book it would be if you had excellent, maybe for the bodyweight squat, 10 pictures. For the goblet squat, wouldn't take many, but why not? We're on a roll, 10 pictures, 5 pictures, whatever. And let people look. Now, I know everything's video today. I've got a YouTube channel. You're probably watching on it now. But sometimes it helps for the athlete and coach just to be able to look and see, here's the issue. Here's the problem. And I think it's kind of a lost thing in what we do in our field. Now, the Germans keep doing this. This is a great book. And this is a shout out to my friend Gernot for sending this to me. But this is a wonderful textbook called Werf und Stoß. This is the German handbook for all the throws, and they have fantastic throwing sequences in here. Of course, I picked out the discus ones, can't help myself. And then they have lots of research, but then those, learn by looking. It might be something we can all do a better job on. I'll look at kettlebell books, and what comes to my mind is Enter the Kettlebell, because I wrote the foreword. So there's huge gaps in the Turkish getup, for example. It's much better if you want to study Turkish getups. Mark Chang does a really good job of it in the book Return of the Kettlebell. It's at the end. No, in How to Improve Your Press. I apologize. Gosh, I'm not doing this. Will tell you how my brain works. It's a really nice little section here where Ken and Mark walk you through the Turkish getup. They demystify it a lot, which is necessary, because we would turn this in the Turkish getup as I call it the cult of the Turkish getup. But it's just something I want you to think about. For those of you who are coaching, sometimes being able to sit down with an athlete and go, look, here. When I was young, we didn't have a lot of video and film and coaching, so we got really used to this thing called the chalk talk. But the lesson of chalk talk is this: you walk it, you talk it, you chalk it. You got to have all three. You can't just put X's and O's up on a wall, because people will miss it. Then after you do the X's and O's and you talk about what you want to do, then you go out and you walk through it and make sure everyone understands the connection from what we're doing on the field to what we were doing in that room a few minutes ago. That's good coaching. And that's what I strive for. I'm Dan John. I hope you learned something.